Have you ever felt completely drained after talking to someone, like you've just run an emotional marathon? Imagine this. Every interaction leaves you exhausted, your self-esteem plummets, and you're always walking on eggshells. It's not just tiring, it's toxic. Toxicity in relationships can sneak up on us, often disguised as intense love or deep concern. But underneath, these relationships drain your energy and detract from your well-being. A toxic person might manipulate, demand constant attention, or never take responsibility for their actions. They can be a friend, a family member, or even a colleague. Recognizing these patterns is the first step in protecting your mental health. Today, we're setting out on a journey to uncover the signs of toxic people, learn strategies to handle or end these relationships, and discuss the pros and cons of distancing oneself from toxic relatives. Understanding these dynamics is crucial for anyone looking to foster healthier, more fulfilling connections. If any of this sounds familiar, you might be dealing with a toxic individual. Let's dive deeper. Not all difficult relationships are toxic, but all toxic relationships are difficult. This opening thought sets the stage for recognizing the signs of a toxic person in your life. It's crucial to identify these markers because they often serve as the red flags warning us of deeper issues. Let's begin with constant negativity. Imagine a friend who, no matter the situation, always sees the glass as half empty. Their conversations might revolve around what's wrong with the world, their life, or even your choices. This relentless pessimism can drain your energy and dim your outlook on life. Next, consider lack of compassion. A toxic individual often struggles to empathize with others. For instance, if you share a personal struggle with a colleague and they dismiss it or respond with indifference, it might indicate a lack of emotional depth necessary for supportive relationships. Manipulation is another significant red flag. Picture a partner who uses your feelings against you. They might say something like, "If you really loved me, you wouldn't spend time with your friends." This kind of emotional manipulation is designed to control your actions and isolate you from your support network. Emotional volatility is also a hallmark of toxic individuals. One day they might be charming and affectionate, and without warning, they can become cold and hostile. This unpredictable behavior creates a walking on eggshells environment where you're constantly wary of what might set them off. It's also worth noting how these behaviors can intertwine, creating a complex web that's difficult to navigate. For example, a sibling might exhibit negativity, lack compassion, and show emotional volatility during family gatherings, making what should be a happy occasion feel tense and uncomfortable. Understanding these characteristics and how they manifest in daily interactions is pivotal. It empowers you to make informed decisions about how to manage these relationships. It's not about judgment, but about self-preservation and maintaining your mental and emotional health. Recognizing these signs is the first step towards addressing the problem. This awareness is your ally, helping you discern which relationships are enriching your life and which might be undermining your well-being. Why should you be concerned about toxic relationships? Well, the impact they have on one's psychological and emotional well-being can be profound and far-reaching. Let's delve into how these relationships affect us and why it's crucial to address them. Toxic relationships often operate through patterns of negative behavior that can induce stress and anxiety. These are not just fleeting feelings, they're persistent states that can disrupt daily functioning and overall health. Psychological experts point out that continuous exposure to toxic environments can trigger the body's stress responses too frequently, leading to symptoms like insomnia, headaches, or even more severe health issues. Moreover, the emotional toll is equally significant. Individuals in toxic relationships frequently experience a decrease in self-esteem. This is because toxic partners or friends often use criticism or manipulation, making the other person feel less worthy or incapable. Over time, this can evolve into a deeply ingrained feeling of inadequacy, which can be challenging to shake off even after the relationship ends. The ripple effects extend beyond the individual. Relationships colored by toxicity can affect family dynamics, friendships, and even professional relationships. The strain of dealing with such intense personal issues can spill over, affecting one's interactions and emotional availability to others. In the view of mental health professionals, the long-term emotional damage from staying in toxic relationships can be severe. Recovery requires time, often involving therapy or counseling to heal and regain a sense of normalcy. The cost of toxic relationships is not just emotional, it's profoundly personal. Identifying a toxic relationship is one thing. Handling it is another. When you realize that a relationship drains more than it nourishes, it's crucial to take steps not just to cope, but to thrive. Firstly, setting boundaries is paramount. It's about knowing where your limits are and making them clear. For instance, if a relative always criticizes your choices, you might need to explicitly tell them, "I appreciate your concern, but I prefer to make my own decisions." Boundaries aren't just physical, they're emotional and psychological too. They help you preserve your self-esteem and emotional health against undue stress. Next, communication is key, but it must be the right kind of communication. Addressing toxic behavior directly and assertively can sometimes lead to a change. When expressing your feelings, use I statements to avoid sounding accusatory. Say something like, "I feel upset when you ignore my opinions," rather than, "You always ignore me." This approach shows that you're speaking from your perspective and not blaming them outright, which can prevent defensive reactions and open up a dialogue for change. However, there are times when communication might not be enough, and reducing contact becomes necessary. If interactions consistently leave you feeling belittled or depressed, limiting your exposure to these negative influences is a step towards your mental well-being. This doesn't always mean cutting someone out completely. Sometimes it's about reducing the time spent together or the depth of the conversations you have. In any of these scenarios, seeking support from a therapist or counselor can be incredibly beneficial. They can provide a neutral perspective and equip you with strategies to handle the complexities of toxic relationships more effectively. Their guidance can be a beacon of light in navigating these tumultuous waters. Taking action to manage these relationships can reclaim your peace of mind. It's about taking control of your environment and ensuring it's one in which you can flourish. Remember, every step you take is a step towards a healthier, happier you. Sometimes the best way to heal is to walk away. But it's not always that simple, is it? Let's delve into the complexities of distancing oneself from toxic influences, a decision often fraught with both relief and regret. One of the most significant benefits of cutting ties with toxic individuals is the improvement in mental health. Imagine lifting a heavy weight off your shoulders, allowing you to breathe easier and think clearer. This newfound freedom can lead to better quality relationships with others who uplift and support you, fostering environments where positivity thrives and personal growth is encouraged. However, the decision to cut ties isn't devoid of its challenges. One of the hardest pills to swallow is the guilt associated with severing connections, especially if those connections are with longtime friends or even relatives. This guilt can manifest from societal expectations, personal values of loyalty, or the fear of judgment from others who may not understand the toxicity of the relationship. Moreover, the backlash from mutual acquaintances can be a daunting consequence. These individuals might side with the other party, or might not grasp the reasons behind your decision, leading to social isolation or conflict within your wider social circle. Another aspect to consider is the emotional turmoil that can accompany such a decision. The initial relief might give way to sadness, regret, or doubt. It's a journey that might require you to face uncomfortable emotions and possibly seek support from professionals or trusted friends. Despite these challenges, many find that the pros of such a decision outweigh the cons. The key lies in thorough self-reflection and possibly consultation with a therapist to understand the full scope of the relationship's impact on your life. Ultimately, deciding to distance yourself is a personal decision, and it's important to weigh both sides. Whether you choose to step back gradually or cut ties abruptly, ensure it's a choice that leads you toward well-being and peace. Imagine a life where you feel energized and valued, not drained and discounted. This isn't just a far-off dream. It's a reachable reality once you've navigated the murky waters of toxic relationships. Picture Sarah, who always felt undermined by her overly critical partner. After years of feeling less than, she decided enough was enough. Now, 3 months post-breakup, she's thriving, embracing hobbies that her partner had scoffed at. Her weekends are filled with painting classes and poetry readings, activities that fuel her soul and her self-esteem. Then there's Michael, who distanced himself from a lifelong friend who was manipulative. Though the decision was tough, the freedom he gained was unparalleled. He's since forged new friendships based on mutual respect and genuine support. These relationships have allowed him to rediscover joy in social interactions rather than dread. And consider Ava, who reduced contact with a domineering relative. She now finds holidays more enjoyable, surrounded by family and friends who uplift rather than criticize. Ava's story is a testament to how setting boundaries can drastically improve one's mental health and overall life satisfaction. These stories underscore a common theme. The act of removing or managing toxic influences can profoundly transform your life. It's about reclaiming your space for growth, peace, and respect. Yes, the journey might be fraught with challenges and moments of doubt, but the destination, a life filled with healthier relationships, is worth every step. A healthier emotional environment starts with the choices you make today.